What's going on, Move the Mouse, back in City Skylines, the town of Springwood, revisited, going back to one of the first maps I ever built on, with a lot more knowledge, but a lot less DLC, playing the vanilla version of the game on PlayStation 4, and unlocking everything from the ground up, so no trophies. I want to call them achievements so badly, it's what's in my brain, but we've got none of the buildings unlocked, the uniques or anything like that, so we're grinding our way back up through all of that, and building on Foggy Hills, the unrelenting grid after the style of San Francisco. So we're still starting very rough. Don't worry, it's a lot of low density. It'll be all pretty much high density in this part when we eventually get there. But we're close, I think, right, to our next couple hundred people away. Not even 100 people away. We're just about to get to our next milestone, and I think that's what we're talking about, right? Am I caught up? Yeah, we're gonna be talking about this stuff. So let's unlock this stuff and see where we go. We get so much residential demand. That's awesome. Maybe we can do a continuation of this highway project. Start building in some people over here on the riverfront. Might be nice. Let's see what we can do. In the last one, I used some of the highway roads to upgrade things around here, but we will rebuild this eventually. How are people doing over here? We had a lot of abandonment last time. We've only got a couple that are complaining, so it looks like we're moving enough people in. We're good. We're coming. We're bringing more people in soon. Hold on. Okay, so how close are we? 950. Okay, a second I start building here, it's gonna get in my way. So let's do that, and it'll happen faster, right? We'll do what we did before. I'm just gonna go with straight roads, 2 lanes, 2-lane one-ways. Bring this all the way down. Geez, maybe even dip it into the coast like that. That's fine. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Too steep. Come on. Okay, we'll take it back a block then. Just because we want to connect it. And we want to change direction because this is going to be all backwards. I should turn those chirps, those tweets off because I'm not reading them. I don't care what you think, citizens. I am building the build that I want to build. So hush. But seriously, if you have any feedback, leave a message. Okay, so do we carry the highway over here? Like, we need a highway exit down here, right? So maybe I'm overthinking this particular 2 blocks at least. There we go. We'll come back to that in 2 seconds. Because I think we should have some kind of way to get off the highway around here before we go too crazy. So how do we get over the highway is the question. Can we do that? We're going to have to move somebody out to do that. We might have to. Because I think we want to break potentially this side street. We can't get... We got enough money. Let's upgrade this highway so we can see the width that we're talking about. So, upgrades. We want to see what kind of widths we're talking about here. We may as well go all the way down. Okay. And that. So if we come all the way down here. Well, I guess we don't want to come that far. Do we just do something similar? I mean, we could. But I don't think I can get... Yeah, I don't think I can get up that fast. Yeah, so here's what we have to do, is we have to move a couple people out. So we're going to break this street right here. And we're going to use this as a space to get up. It's a little weird. It's a little different. How much space is that? 840. Okay. So we'll do that, and then we'll come down to keep it symmetrical in 840 units. No, that's not at all correct, because I need another 560 before I come down. 560 and then was it 640? It was 640, right? Man, short-term memory, not very good. 840. Right there. Okay, that's symmetrical. So that kind of works. We could do that. Now, do we build the whole premise off of being able to tuck under this road? We might have to. We want 2 blocks of space. Right, so that should be correct. I think that works. And then this should be just enough space. It's a little bit extra, but we'll take it. So that gives us a way to cut over. We've got like kind of 2 ways to cut over now. And then we got to figure out another exit down here somewhere. And I think that will feed off into this side because it'll just have more room for traffic. And then we can worry about another exit over here that feeds into industry and maybe like a little coastal road here to get people in and out of this section. But for the time being, let's build our grid based off of this. So we'll come out 2 because it fits. Come on. And then let's just see how much we can get away with here before we want to think coastal road. So we'll do that, and then let's come all the way down here, and we'll just grid that out. That'll give us a ton of room to move people in, which is our big dilemma right now. And then before they get too far moved in, we've got some decorative roads now. I wouldn't mind doing the tree-lined streets here. So let's do freeform. And basically what freeform and curve do is they like go out to a point, click the button once, and then that becomes kind of your anchor point, and you can rotate your curve around depending on where you go from there. So if I only go out a little bit and then start to bend it, it can bend really crazy. Or if I go out a really far way, you know, before I start, you can get a little bit more gradual of a bend. In fact, that's not bad right there. What we kind of want to happen here is we kind of want to follow the shoreline. And I think we should do this with a key wall. I think we should see what that does here. So this needs to be placed kind of on the shore. We'll do freeform for this because we want to kind of follow the shoreline. And what it does is it kind of flattens out the ground behind it too. So let's go into landscaping a little bit, which itself can get very expensive. So be careful with that. We'll try and smooth this out just a little bit. And in fact, let's do this. I'm going to set the height at about the street, and I'm just going to smooth that back. Just so that it's a little bit more gradual. Now it is going to make things a little bit crazy around the road itself over here. I think that's okay. That way these hills just get a little bit less clumsy when we're building up them. I guess we'll do that one more time at least over to this point. And don't do it, you know, don't do it too perfect. Cities are not. And that's okay. So I'm going to go back to, well, I guess we'll go back to our 4-lane tree-lined freeform road. And I'm going to keep the edge of the circle just off the just off the key wall if I can. Come on. Come on. Just right in it. Right. That's good. So it's still a little rough. I wouldn't mind taking the height down a little bit more, but we can do that as a rebuild project later on. Let's just get this connected in for now. We'll do that, and it should be back on the straight tool. I'm not going to connect each one of these. I'll connect the one in the middle. And we'll presume to leave some room for that coastal road to come up. We'll have very minimal intersections on this. Okay, so where are we at? Let's play it, because I just realized we're wasting time here. Fill tool. What do we need? Lots of residential. We're not going to build that tiny little strip next to the highway, but we will fill in a lot of the rest of it. Now, in this case, this can be a huge residential pocket for us. That's totally fine. What I want to do with the main street, though, here, the drag, this is where we'll have more commercial. Kind of want to see what that looks like, too, on the coastline, how badly it needs a rebuild, or maybe it'll just work. Or maybe we can try and flatten the terrain a little bit better and just try again. But the key wall itself looks all right. We'll see how the buildings come in. Now we might have to extend power temporarily, it looks like. Because we got to get it across, right? It looks like this is the easiest way to do it, though. Is that going to work? That's really close. It did. Okay. If it lights up, it works. Did we water over here yet? No, of course not. So. $4.40. Don't worry, we're coming with water and sewage right now. You're good. You can quit complaining with the emojis. Okay, so now with that out of the way, I guess we could cover the coastline appropriately. The little excess pipe. Okay. I think we're off to a terrific start. I mean, comparatively, I've built on this map before. I know I'm off to a better start than I was last time. That's the important thing. Milestone-wise, we're still unlocking unique buildings, and each of those have their own special requirements. We'll just kind of play through normal, not stressing anything too much. And when there are specific buildings that we're kind of stuck on and we have to progress, I'll really dive in and kind of talk about those. We've got an oil specialization for industry. We've kind of talked about that in a previous episode. But now we have the tourism specialization as well. And that's something that we can stamp down in a similar fashion with the other ones we talked about for industry. This one is for commercial. And then we've got some new policies. We've got new decorative roads, so roads with trees and grass, highways with sound barriers, and then the one-way variants of some of those. We've also got an upgraded hospital and fire station, an upgraded oil power plant to produce more power. Did I say police, fire, hospital, those things? And some decorative stables, beach volleyball, all kinds of stuff. But at least functionally speaking, those last couple things I mentioned, police, fire, hospital, power, they work the exact same way. They're just more expensive, more powerful versions of those other city services that we've talked about. The decorative roads are just prettier versions of the roads we've already built. And there are some really important policies that we will talk about, but let's save that for really a policy recap. The next one is such a huge one though. At 7,500, we're going to unlock the high density variants of those zones, an alternative to industry in the form of office, college education, and metro. Huge development for the city, and I cannot wait for that one. So definitely stay tuned. Kind of a quick episode today. Some of them will be shorter, some of them will be longer, but I want to keep cranking these out on a pretty regular schedule because I know some new people will stumble onto these, and you don't want to wait to build your city. You want to keep going. So I'm going to try and crank a bunch of these out. Since it's a new build, it's a great way for new players to follow along. And I have a feeling some old players will be following along too. And if you're either one of those and you stay tuned this long, hopefully you enjoyed. Likes, comments, and shares all help the channel a lot, and they're all so greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you're new and hit the bell to get notifications for updates in this and other series. If you'd like to support the channel, there are links to that and lots of other things in the description down below. We're going to keep tuning and tweaking and plugging away and grinding for those unique buildings. I hope you come along for the ride. Until the next one, though, this is Move the Mouse, signing off.